Today is June 4th, 2023. Okay. Last night, when I got back to Louisville from work, at the gas station at the edge of town, there's some electricians. My oldest son, John, is an electrician. And it must have been some of his friends or coworkers. They said, "Hey, look, there's John's mom." And John said that she never heard anybody. And because of all this, he'll probably never see her again. I know. I was still going to church down there, and randomly, not on a regular basis, because that guy could show up, okay? Even people that were helping watch the case, they actually came up and lectured me. "Are you crazy going down to John's church? That guy could show up. You could get killed, Karen." And they would lecture me. The people that watched the case, because that retired judge sold the locket, people come up, "Are you crazy going down to John's church? That guy could show up and you could get killed." And they lecture me. Okay, but I get to go down randomly to church with him when we go out to eat. He asked me to babysit at 19. This craziness started 21 again, because I told you they left me alone for a little while. I think they're afraid the FBI will actually do the right thing and pay me, and those strippers and prostitutes want the money. Everything's about money, because they're strippers and prostitutes. See, and this is where strippers and prostitutes, if they want they do sex acts all the time for men, married men. They get one of them to leave their wives. They get out of the strip club, they're happy. Do they ever go after the wife? No, it's psycho shit. Or the kids. That's psycho shit. Psycho shit. You know, yesterday, I know my apartment's bought. I played Fatal Attraction. People are realizing how psycho she is. Her and her parents. Her mean parents. You know, does he think it's funny bringing her in? They're the ones walking around my apartment screaming stuff at me. Why are they messing with me? Why are they saying a word to me? See, this is where I think they're afraid the FBI will do the right thing and pay me. And they want that money. And they are just extortionists. What are they going to say? Dave hired some retired judge to kick in her door? Set up button cameras knocking her? He arrested Dave and the retired judge, right? Set up button camera, broke in, date rape, drugged her, told her to say something stupid, and lied they had sodium pentothal reports so she'd be sleepwalking, like they drugged up poor Eric on November 18, 22, Walmart 62 by the hair salon. Had him confess for all the tapes before him and not me, and was done for a stunt for people to turn on me. Ha 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 ha. He had nothing to do with it. They left his name in Altman Hospital, all over kind of places, framing him. And then drugged him up and told him to say it in a public place. But they made a big mistake this time. They did it in my home. Fourth Amendment. It's a federal constitutional law. No one can be in your home watching you except for police and agencies under a threat of life case with statements. There's nothing. You can't be in somebody's home. There's nothing else. See, that's where up in Akron, they were telling people that the police departments are all getting phone calls. There's no excuse for any of this. And defrauding anybody is wrong, especially victims. And the people up in Akron are like, "Well, do you think that agent fell for their tapes before? He knew better than to even look at them. And then he didn't even verify they were all photoshopped. And her family knew nothing. And everything was photoshopped on them, on her." See, you can't break in somebody's home, stalk them. You can't hire a stalker. That's crazy shit. Have her tape me unaware, naked, in bed with Dave, sell it on porn sites? Photoshopping a shower scene of washing in the other room is asinine. You do realize that. And date rape, drugging me, and lying, you have sodium pentothal reports, so I have no memory. Wake up with a bruise. I had giant bruises everywhere. Everybody's seen it. Nobody knew what's wrong with me. I'm leaving my house. Personal infection, here I'm being beat, drugged, and raped. I have pictures of me all probably in the first 6 weeks of being up there, you can tell my eyes change. They're all glazed, they're haze, and they're big. I showed it to this one guy I went out to eat with. He said, you can look in your eyes and see you were drugged up. See, I didn't know because I don't do drugs. And I couldn't figure out why I was so sick. How would you like to wake up throwing up, dizzy, heart racing, almost passing out, running in the bathroom thinking you had the flu? Then you're like, what's wrong with me? Because it keeps happening. Going to the doctor. Doctor don't know what's wrong with you. Trying to treat the symptoms. And here you're being drugged, beaten, raped in your own house. And these people think it's funny violating me. I like to know where on God's green earth, if that idiot asked you to help, why would you? Why would you? Why would you? He's tried to kill me 4 times. He wants his freedom. He wants to go out and do prostitutes. He wants to date all these different women. He's in his 60s. Instead of retiring, enjoying the last few years with your wife that you spent 30 years. You want to live this last fantasy of wild women. You tell the old coot just to divorce and go off. You leave the wife and kids alone. And everybody's like going to be like Grandpa lost it. You don't ever hurt the wife. You don't ever stalk her. You don't ever drug her. You don't ever rape her. You never publicly humiliate her. Do you realize what kind of mental illness? That agent better not have known, because he didn't arrest him. That means he knew Dave knew I called up. That means he did set me up. He knew I was being drugged. I was being beat. I was being raped. He knew I was being human trafficked out to that Pete. He knew they were sex trafficking videos of me and Dave in bed. Oh, and they were taping in the bathroom. And they were obtaining and dispensing kiddie porn. And he didn't stop them. Choose his words carefully. Makes the accessory. See, that's where that officer in Akron, he better not have known about those things. He better never have looked at them. Because then he didn't even verify they were all photoshopped, and we did. So who the hell do these people think they are? This is the United States of America. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person, your surroundings, yourself, in your places, your homes, your personal effects and papers, against any unreasonable search or seizure shall not be violated. The word is shall not be violated. No warrant will be issued except for on probable cause warranted with an oath or affirmation of the person, places, and things to be searched or seized. They, just for a search warrant, they have to have, you have to give Miranda rights over it, of what they're going to search, what they're going to seize. They have to go tell the people what they're doing so they can lawyer up and shut up. And see, but to actually watch you in your home, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. It's called entrapment. You can't just break in and frame somebody and use it against them. You can't stalk them in their own home. You can't follow them around saying stuff. You can't definitely break in and date rape, drug them. You can't tape them unaware naked and sell them. We're hitting federal crimes here. That's where the agent better not have known. What would they say to him? I kicked in Karen's door on the 6th day while they were out. So a body camera started talking. You did what? We videotaped her and Dave and Bet. You did what? We sold it on porn sites. You did what? We taped everybody using the bathroom. You did what? We would have sodium pentothal reports. You drugged her. Well, we told her to say a bunch of stupid stuff. It was really date rape drugs. But we have strippers. Seriously. This is how stupid all this is. That agent better not have known. He was rude as hell to me. Then listed me informant with money, immunity. And then threatened me. I already told him. Somebody told on me in that church. Dave told him. Danny, he's seen him. Officers verified for the local officers. They seen him. Up there telling before I called him back. Instead of wanting that church's number. Why on earth did he not want to verify the information when there's badgering laws? Obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, tampering with witnesses is exactly what he did. Because you're going to say he broke another federal law and looked at photoshopped and date rape drug confessions, just like they got date rape drugged Eric and made him confess to something he didn't do. I never talked to anybody. During the case, I confronted Dave. He defended me. Karen, you go to the kids, you go to the grandkids. Wouldn't hurt anybody. Taped him, of course, along with the police. It's the same thing as the investigation he opened. That's why I told you I didn't believe he was real. So I Googled where he was at, and I found him when Dave was threatening Dixie and the baby's life, and then when I seen the guy and he took off through the side woods. And he retired. I told you, in March or April 19, I was taking a class at Faith Family Church. I walk out, and there's this tall, 6 foot something guy, 250 pounds, dressed super nice suit, really nice trench coat. He had black hair, a black beard, dark eyes. He was talking to people. I'm actually Karen's will. I dropped my pen. I bent down to pick it up and he was gone. Some lady, when I got home last night, she's like, somebody did show up and say they were Karen's will. Yeah. I only seen him for a second. Those agents are retired since 18 and 19. Where when I seen the guy, they yell out, will you tell those people, or those police up there to get a hold of it? We're busy. They were too arrogant and too busy to look into their own case. They didn't think I was hiding profile and up in house breaking loose around me. I was in the middle of being abused by a drug cartel and almost murdered. They wanted a big case. It was laying right on their lap. See what I mean? And there's legal surveillance because he had an officer talk today, September 27th, 18. The case started. Up in Ravenna, they called it Karen's Craig. And the Stark County Sheriffs and the police down here call it Karen around the house. He actually opened a real informant program, protected home custody. Do you know, even if they told people you were crazy, police can't watch you because you're crazy in your home. Do you realize 80% of the United States citizens are crazy? You can be cray-cray all you want, as long as you don't try to harm yourself or anybody else. They can't even watch you in your home if they think you're going to harm yourself. The most they can do is take you for a 48-hour evaluation or whatever, 72. Or I don't know what it is. Take you to the hospital and get you evaluated. See what I mean? The right to the sanctity over a home can't be in it. Because you have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. Nobody has a right in their home. See, this is the point. Like they said, he better not have known about those dates. And he better never looked at them. Then he knew all those crimes were happening to me, and he knew I was in high trouble. But yeah, see, John even asked me, my oldest, he asked me to babysit at 19, but I was working, and I couldn't do it. For Kenzie Carrington and Noah. I told you on Thanksgiving at 18, when I heard those kids making stuff up in the basement, I asked him what's going on. I don't know. And he said, Melissa's just going to have a makeup stop because I told him you're going to move out, you're going to go through a divorce. David and I hadn't even, I was so busy been running for my life. I'm just like, you shouldn't have told them. We hadn't announced we were going to go through a divorce. He was already talking about it with his kids. That you're going to move out and you're going to go through a divorce. It's like you shouldn't have said anything till it happened. He said it in front of everyone. There's a tape of it. And I said, in the protected custody case. And he's like, don't worry, Mom. She'll just have a make-up something. It can't be anything bad. But she'll have them make up something in the church people too. Don't worry about it. It can't be anything bad. My whole family spoke highly of me. In 18, the investigators interviewed my whole family. That's where March 23rd, 23, Walmart 62 again, by the hair salon again. Those two young guys were around me in 18. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anybody. And nobody's ever seen anything. We told these people, stay out of this. You know, I was in Hartville yesterday. Some kid said, is that the one we're supposed to say something to? The dad said, you better not. Where are they getting a hold of these kids? See, this is where it's the drug cartel, the human traffickers, and those prostitutes doing this. Hartville police already told my one client's neighbor where they were out there saying they taped me before. They said they had no right nor home. So how are they getting a hold of these kids? It's a drug cartel and the human traffickers telling them to say something to me. Your kids are in danger. They know where they're at. You do realize that. It's a drug cartel telling them to say something to me. And they're getting a hold of your kids. Like the guy I went out to eat with. He told me that a bunch of stuff on January 13, 2023, that it's a drug scam from the drug traders out of this area, human trafficking people. It is. And then on the 20th, January 20th, 23, that his local police department was using, and other police departments are using that case that agent opened to get this people in this big human trafficking scam. That's what this is. And they're using the case that agent opened. They knew about the Texas group that was involved with you. I said, oh, the Kingsmen, is that what they call themselves? There was a retired judge in Texas involved in this. Went down and questioned him and killed himself. There's another judge in another state, and they're going to be getting ready to take care of it. 3 weeks later, they did an 800 people sweep. So where they're telling kids to say something, it's not the police department. Stalking and menacing, it's illegal. Harassment is illegal. Hate crimes are illegal. See what I mean? It's not police doing this. It's not the FBI. It's no law enforcement. It's the drug traders that are human trafficking getting to your kids. See, they said something about using me for bait before. I thought it was to get bad guys. It's to get the good guys, all the kids and everybody else to show up. They were using me for bait. They're using the case as a scam that agent opened. That retired judge sold the log, and by Thanksgiving of 18, like I said, everybody knows what's going on but her family. My whole family spoke highly of me. I told you those two guys were around me in January 18 when Dave was like, oh my God, Carrie, I don't know what's going on, get a gun, oh my God. I'm like, you're scared of it, beat him with my purse. And they were laughing at him. They were the ones June 23rd to July 4th, 21. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She never heard anyone. See, that's weird. This has been strippers where that agent said, they told him to tell the police to get a hold of it. They were busy. They were too arrogant and busy to look into their own case. That's fraud. Left me up there for a drug cartel. They took over running it. Retired Judge Pete said he was Agent Will. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And no one was to help me all this. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct, like the Tuscarora sheriff said. You can never tell anybody not to please someone and not to help them. You go to jail for that. This failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. And it's been drug traders, human traffickers, strippers and pimps running this, and prostitutes. An FBI case. You want to talk about shame? You know how many people have been taken? It's not even funny. I'm going to go ahead and upload this. But yeah, anybody that they're sending stuff out to their kids, you need to turn it in the police department. They need to get them. They're trying to entrap your kids so they can get them. Because how did they find them? Exactly. And no cop would have you break a law. You do understand that. People need to wake up and stop